welcome all people, all parties to this week's edition of Father's Talk. And as we get ready to begin here, let me first apologize for missing what should have been the last of the month of June. So just got sidetracked, in all honesty, got sidetracked. But we're here again. We're ready to get into it. We're ready to inspire, instill some power into men and to all viewers. So looking forward to today's discussion and what that is going to do to and for you. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into our topic for this week. So what we're looking at and what we're discussing is discipline. And discipline is something that is truly, you have to decide what is a good measure of discipline for yourself. Because I can't sit here and say, oh, it's got to be just like this, because there are so many different levels of discipline. And the thing is, it really comes down to knowing yourself. What is going to allow you to be the most effective? I mean, if you have a goal in mind, be honest, be true, be real with yourself. What do I need to do to help me reach my goal? If the goal is in any way obtainable, how much discipline am I going to have to apply to myself? And the thing is, if you're dependent upon other people to set up and surmise how much is enough, then really you're not being disciplined within yourself. If it requires the aid and the instruction of others, then you may need to make some other choices within yourself to determine what's going to be your best course of action, what is really going to put you in the best possible situation or scenario to succeed. So let's sweep away all the excuses. Let's get rid of all the blase blah, whatever that is really interference. And let's get down to it. So what is it going to take? How much discipline is the right amount of discipline for you to be able to reach your goal? And the thing is, the biggest aspect of this is really goal setting. I mean, if you have something that you want to reach and that you want to achieve, but the distance between where you are and where you're trying to get, if you want to get there quick, then it's going to require a great deal of discipline, literally like militaristic type discipline, like basic training. You come in and it's no sir, yes sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am, all the way through. You don't have any rights. So within giving yourself or creating this opportunity and determining the level of discipline that you need to set for yourself, then you need to really truly determine what's going to qualify you, what works for you as far as how to discipline yourself. And really, it's policing yourself and determining and making a solid determination what's worthwhile and what's not. Because if something's truly worthwhile, then push for it, go after it, go get it. And one simple comparison to really bring the point home, to solidify it, is for those of you who have, when you began dating, if there was somebody that you were really interested in or even attracted to, you pursued them. And the thing is, you did whatever you could to let them know that you were pursuing them. It's the same way when it comes to discipline. You will be so dictatorial concerning your application, concerning your ideas, concerning contributing as often and as frequently as possible towards reaching your goals, that you're going to there's going to be some things that get pushed aside. Some things that's like, you know what? I could do this, but this isn't going to help me get to where I want to go. So for right now, you know what? This is on hold. This is on the back burner. This is on pause. And I'm going to push forward concerning all that it is going to help me get to where I want to go. Because the thing is, when you reach your goal, you'll find out now you have the time to do some of the things that you wanted to do in the first place, or the things that would stop you, cause you to hesitate, cause you to draw back from pushing, moving, and going forward. So again, it's discipline is one of those things that's hard to rate, because the thing is, if you're being effective, if you're getting things done and you're getting them done at a nice pace and a nice rate, but it's like you're not so dogmatic in your pursuits that it's driving you crazy, but you've got a balance where you can push towards the things that you want to have, creating those opportunities for what you want, but at the same time, you still give yourself those opportunities, those times to just breathe a little, to just relax. In all honesty, that's great. Everybody's not made the same way. There are some people who, when it comes to sleep, they can get away with 3 or 4 hours sleep and operate and function fine. You would have thought that they got 8 or 9 hours sleep, because the way that they're between their mind and their body, they're able to cope and handle the stresses of less sleep and still be able to work, be active, do what they need to do for themselves, for their family, for just living. They can handle that. But I know for myself, 3, 4 hours sleep, can't function. Stuff ain't right. Have a hard time remembering. After a while, it will get hard to focus. It plays with my body. It plays with my mind. So yes, I need a certain amount of sleep. And so again, with discipline, you have to know what really works for you. You have to, in this instance, you got to call your own shot. And you've got to say, hey, I know I work better in the morning. I work better at night. I do better. In some people's cases, they work better outside of the home. Some people work best in the home. Some people need to have guidance. Other people are self-starters, self-motivators, and they will just get to work and get to going on the thing. It is realistic to set up borders and boundaries for yourself to help yourself maintain to get to where you want to go. So it's okay to say, hey, I know I work. I know I've got family duties and responsibilities. I know that there are things that I have to do, but I know during the course of the week, if I could spend 40 hours at work, maybe I can at least do 15 to 20 hours working and building, and not just be sitting back and waiting for a whole day to try and work, because I know for myself, when I get into that day, I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna have other things going on, and my heart's really not going to be into giving all that time. Whereas some people, hey, give me a Saturday. I'll work all day on that Saturday. During the week, that Saturday, oh, I'll be all in. So it's hard to designate what is possible. What is the absolute best form of discipline? Because it's almost like, how do you discipline your children? Do you whoop them? Do you just punish them? Do you take things away? Again, it's all in knowing yourself, but giving yourself every opportunity to succeed, turning things as viable as possible. So you're primarily eliminating excuses. If you set yourself up on a schedule, that's a form of discipline. To be able to follow that schedule and then check it off. Okay, I've done this today. I've done that today. That got done. Knock that out. And so you go through and it's like, okay, I'm being productive because when I look back at my list and I measure, I want to rate my level of success during the course of the day. How much of this list was I able to knock out before I laid my head back on my pillow? So if most of my time is spent just doing the things that I like to do, not necessarily things that I need to do. And there's another determination there. And there's another area of discipline is determining needs between wants. Likes compared to must-haves. If I want to have a future and a hope, a place where I transition out of just potential to actual feasible, tangible things, then I've got to start working towards my goal. And if my goal is here, but I know right now I'm here, I have to work to bring these two closer together. And if you notice, it's the one hand moving to the other. The goal is always going to be the same, but it's up to me to determine what I'm willing to do to get there. And that's where it begins. That's where it starts. Determining within myself, okay, am I determined to get there? Am I determined to make it? Can I see myself there? And if I see myself and I create a vision within me that gets me excited, that gets me pumped up, that gets me motivated, that, hey, this is where I want to be, but this is where I am. But once I get here, I'll be so happy. I'll be able to receive or to have the things that I've been wanting and desiring for such a long time. Why? Because it's all here. But I know right now I'm here. And in some of our cases, we may be like, okay, I'm way back here. So I really need to get to work if I want to go from here all the way to here. Advancement only comes through activity. So if I'm not active, I'm not advancing. I'm not giving myself chances to change or to replicate the effectiveness that I want to see. Because if my destination is drawing me, is really piercing my heart and encouraging me, hey, gotta get up, gotta do something, gotta apply myself in this area today, gotta spend time, gotta make sure I stay motivated, I stay focused, that I shoot. Even for some, what's best to do is to make yourself accountable to someone else. Because in doing it yourself, it's like, I don't have the motivation I need. Whereas that other person can be looking at you and be like, hey, you haven't worked on it. You got to get back. You got to go and get yourself going. You got to apply yourself. You got to get back into the fight. You got to start cycling to build. So if there's no activity, you're not going to advance. And the bad part is, especially with the way things are today and the microwave society that we live in, everybody wants things in an instant. You want instant gratification, instant satisfaction. And it's like for a goal or dream, you want it to just materialize instantly, regardless of how much work you put in, regardless of how much of your heart has gone into that thing, regardless of how much building and application you've actually done. And it's just hard to understand how we hear, and they're all over the place, success stories across social media, across television, just any place you want to find a feel-good story, an overcomer story, you can look it up and you can pretty much find one, at least one. But there are so many, whether it's overcame a sickness, overcame a disease, overcame personal struggles, overcame an addiction, overcame biased societies, overcame unfair conditions, just so many different things, overcame poverty, overcame just self-inflicted wounds, overcame abandonment issue. Just there's a lot of different motivating factors out there for people to go to and to pull on and to rely on. So there's got to be a reason for you that stirs you, that moves you, that motivates you, that puts you in the frame of mind that not only do I want to do this, I feel as if I need to do this. Because the more passionate you are about achieving, the more discipline you'll place over your life. So it just won't be, hey, I'm here and I'm doing this, and it's almost like a leisurely hobby. I just do it whenever. There's no real push. There's no real level of importance to it. I just, whenever I feel like it, I do it. But when it comes to achieving, it's going to require more than that, especially if it's something that seems like it's afar off. Like for where you are right now, say, you know what, I want to become a millionaire. Example, I want to become a millionaire. Okay, well, right now, let's just say your income, your annual household income is not even above $100,000. So what's it going to take to become a millionaire? So it's like, okay, do I need to invest money? Do I need to start my own business? Do I need to maybe find other avenues and streams and ways that I can make money? And so you start brainstorming and trying to put things together based on your skill set, your abilities, or those that you can work with and get in contact with to say, hey, we can do this. We can build this together. We can start this business. We can create this service. Whatever it is that you decide to do, but you know that you have a need to fulfill. And in order to fulfill that need, it's going to take more than what you're currently doing. That's when the discipline has to start kicking in. That's when discipline has to say, okay, I'm a literally tie or attach myself to this in such a way that you'll see it on me. I'll be able to talk about it. I'll reference it. Because it's that important to me. It's that close. It's that significant. It's almost like you become married to what it is that you want to become. The thought and the idea is upon you. And you can relate that to others. Why? Because you're driven. You're focused. You're determined. You're disciplined. And so with all that working in you, you start building and turning what started off as a little, and it starts to grow. It starts to expand. It's almost like putting yeast in dough. Just letting it sit, even in room temperature, it's going to grow. It's going to start to expand. And then when you get it in the oven, then with the heat, when the heat hits it, it really begins to blow up. So those are the same kinds of possibilities, the same types of opportunities that are awaiting us if we can discipline ourselves in the right way. Because sometimes, in all honesty, some people go overboard. And that's one of the reasons why they'll start something, but because they were so over the top, so gung-ho about how to discipline themselves, they took away too much in such a way that it left them unable to properly function. So instead of building, they start tearing down, and they just got to the point where, you know what? Not worth it. Not worth it. I'd rather stay where I am, even though I don't like it, I'm not happy with it, than try and build all this, because this tearing me up inside. I can't. I didn't think it would take all this, so I'm not going to worry about trying to do all this. And again, you have to know you. But again, you got to maintain a balance. There has to be some ebb and flow. There has to be some give and take. There has to be a point, a place, and a way that you're not abusing yourself. You can strip so much away that you feel like you're not gaining anything, that it's not a positive build. But almost like when you were a little kid and to discipline you, they were like, clean your room. I don't want to go clean my room. So we have to find, we have to figure, we have to understand what creates a very workable environment. What creates a desire to want to work, even when you're tired, even when you're frustrated, even when, and sometimes maybe that's what it takes. Look at how disappointing it is to be where you are right now. When you dream for so much more, when you desire to do so much more, when there's so much more you want to have, you want your family to have, different experiences, things that you want to come in contact with, how you want to grow in as a person, in character, and just in life. And so there has to be, at some point in time, there just has to be some discipline that's being applied so that life just doesn't stay and keep you in this same rut of circles, just going over and round and round, like a little merry-go-round. Same music, same little characters you ride on, whether they be animals, cartoon characters, whatever it is, it's all the same. And it just goes in a circle. Same little carnival type music that's playing, little pipe organ, just go up and down in a circle, up and down in a circle. And so for some of us, hey, that's life. Stuff takes you up and down, brings you back to where you were. Up and down, back to where you were. Nothing new, nothing else to focus on, no ability, no opportunity to get yourself into something new, get yourself into something better. No, all you've got is this circle that seems to be consuming and eating away at you because you're not going anywhere. So you become frustrated. So you become fed up. So you feel like there's got to be more than just this. You want to see growth and expansion. You want to see and witness opportunities. You want to truly live life. But it's going to require a certain level, a certain amount of discipline. Because when you hear some of the stories of some of the people and what they came from and how they made it and what it took to get them there and even what it took to stay and to maintain what they had, it required discipline. It required discipline. So just like those of you or those of us that are parents, you know, you grow and you begin to understand your kids. And when you see them doing things that are destructive, doing things that are hurtful and harmful, doing things that are not going to benefit them in life, you apply the discipline to prevent them from hurting themselves, from hurting someone else, for damaging or destroying or tearing stuff up. You discipline them to let them know, hey, can't do that. That's not going to benefit you. It's not going to help you. That action, that attitude is not acceptable. And so with those thoughts in mind, we have to begin to work and to understand that without applying the right types of discipline in the right areas for ourselves, we'll just remain the same person, doing the same thing with the same expectation. And I know that basically I've been told that foolishness or lunacy is expecting something, is doing the same thing, but expecting different results. Doing the same thing. So, especially if your life feels like it's in a rut, like you're stuck in the mud, like there's just something that's got a hold on you and it doesn't seem like you can let it go, maybe it's time to change stuff up. Maybe it's time to apply new disciplines concerning yourself. Maybe it's time to get some support. Maybe it's time to look for help for places where maybe previously you didn't look for help. Making yourself accountable. So it's like, okay, yeah, I really feel like I should be doing something, but I don't feel like doing it right now. If you have a vision, if you have a goal, if you have something or someplace in mind that you want to reach, that's how you do it. It takes the discipline. It requires discipline. And it's one of those words that people don't like hearing because automatically they just think like somebody's a jockey and they're the horse and the jockey's just riding him. Come on, faster, harder, keep going. And that's the image. It's one of those words that when you say it, somebody's face just instantly go from, you just said the D word. You just said discipline. And it's one thing that people don't like to hear because, again, there's a negative connotation associated with it, but it's not necessarily a negative thing. But it's something that we all require. But one of the quickest ways to success is to be able to police or discipline yourself. When you can govern yourself, what happens? Especially in the workplace, they begin trusting you on the job because they're like, oh, look at how he works. Look at how she works. Look at how well they keep things and they're organized and they just follow instructions and complete every task. They pay attention and they take note of that. Determined to be on the job and to be an asset, not a liability. Somebody that can be counted on and not someone who can be trusted or not trusted. It's really about where you're at and understanding where you are, who you are, and where you want to go. Because if you've got big dreams, you've got big goals, then guess what? It's going to require some big discipline, some big restrictions so that you don't get off and you stay on. You stay on to finish. You stay on to apply yourself. You stay on to get to where you're going. Because guess what? Even if you don't make it, you've gone further than you were before. So if it takes you writing down and scheduling your time, if it takes you pulling out your phone or a planner and saying, hey, every day I'm giving this much time towards what it is that I'm trying to build, or I'm giving this much time towards what it is that I want to see in my life, or I'm giving this much time concerning this person, place, or thing that I'm invested to. And just making sure that, guess what? It works. It works. When an inventor builds something, the first thing they have to do is test it. They just can't say, hey, I just built this and it's supposed to do this and it's capable of doing that without testing it. Because if you don't test it, you don't know whether or not it's actually going to work, whether or not the thing that you intended it to do, it's actually capable of doing or handling. So, in all honesty, we have to make up our minds where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be about. Because without the discipline, we're just literally just being driven by the waves. It's not us prompting change. It's not us doing something to affect our environment, in fact, affect our surroundings, but it's actually us just being caught up in day to day. And as a result, there's nothing big on the horizon. There's no wonderful opportunities. There's no windows or doors that are being opened up before us. We just see the same thing, the same frustrations, the same pains, the same people that seem to be now has gotten to the point where they're bothering us, where we're agitated, we're irritable. Why? Because we're not satisfied with things being the way they are. And if we be honest with ourselves, we'd be like, you know what, self, you working my last nerve right now. We trying to get somewhere and you off playing. We trying to get some stuff done and you focused on everything else. We're trying to make it happen and you sitting there on the phone, not having a worthwhile conversation. Where are we? Where are we? Because we have to step up our level of importance to what it is that we want to see, what it is we want to experience, what it is that we want to have, where it is that we would like to go. It's up to us. It's up to us. We've got to make that determination because, again, finding that balance between enough discipline and not too much, not too little, but finding that even tug and pull between applying ourselves and building the dream and giving ourselves opportunities and putting ourselves out there so we become more than who we are right now in this moment. Yes, it is about growth. We got to grow. We got to grow up and mature. We got to grow up and apply ourselves. We got to grow up and create opportunities. Who's worth it in your life to go ahead and be disciplined so that they can see you and see how you got to where you're trying to go to and feel like this is great, this is wonderful, this is how I wanted things to be. And this is where I see plenty of opportunities that are coming up before me. So let's take a new look at the way we discipline ourselves. Let's take a deeper look and really determine, okay, am I disciplined? Am I doing things the way that they should be in order to get things done? Am I approaching it with the idea and the thought that I'm going to give it my best? Or am I just going to transition myself to or keep myself in this same place, in this same state, with the same things constantly going on, nothing new, nothing changing? Where I just sit back and it's like, that's it. It's right here. That's all I got. Nothing else, nothing more. And to just get an understanding of the opportunities that are actually awaiting me. If I can just tone some things down, if I can just push some things over, if I can just move some things out the way so that I can accomplish the things that I really want to do, the places I really want to go, what I really and truly want to see. These are where the opportunities are. This is what's going to influence me going forward. This is what's going to create and generate things for me and my family. This is what it's going to take. So it's about the application. Am I willing to apply myself so I can see myself someplace better? Am I willing to apply myself so I can have new opportunities? Am I willing to apply myself so that I start reaching and moving and achieving my goals? Because I'm just talking about me. My dreams are big. My dreams are big, so they require discipline out of me. My dreams, can't even get into just how gargantuan the levels of some of my dreams are. So I know that in order to get there, not only is it going to take some work, it's going to take a whole lot of discipline. It's going to take a whole lot of discipline. So there are going to be times where I don't feel like working, but I know what's going on, so I got to work. There are going to be times where I just want to be still and sit, maybe sleep. But that's already being done. Matter of fact, it's already been done by me previously. And what did it really benefit me? None. So let's be determined. Let's get our minds fixed. Let's get focused. Let's start driving. Let's start showing some passion. Put pictures up so you can see yourself where you want to be. Put some goals there so you can start laying out before yourself, okay, well, once I get to this point, I want to celebrate because I'm a quarter of the way there, or I'm halfway to my goal. I'm really starting to see myself coming up to what I'm believing for and having it and receiving it. Yeah, I want to go somewhere. Yeah, I want to do some things. Yeah, I want to be more than I am right now, today. Do I think I'm okay? I'm all right, but being over here would be so much better than being over here. I'm right here. It's all right. But if I got over here, oh, that'd be great. Because there's a lot more surrounding what's over here than what I have right now that places me back over here. So let's get into it. Let's spring into action. Let's be like Bruce Wayne going into the Batcave, and once he's got all his bat gear on, he goes out, and it's like he's a different kind of guy. Let's be that guy. Let's be that guy. All right. Well, again, thank you for tuning in. Really do appreciate your viewership. I want to encourage you, be disciplined, be disciplined, be disciplined. Know what's going to work for you and know what's going to put you in the most optimal position to find and to experience success. Because the simple fact of the matter is we all want to be successful. But for many of us, we can't define what it takes to actually get there. So whether you need help, get the help. Whether you need to just schedule things, schedule things. The thing is, the most important thing is don't keep doing the same thing. Don't just keep doing the same thing, milling around, circle, 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 but I'm really not going anywhere. I'm really not going anywhere. So let's get into it. Let's break and let's end the cycles of despair. Let's break and let's end the cycles of disappointment. Let's break and let's end these cycles that keep us locked in, bound, tied, and attached to things that we don't even want over ourselves. All right. So there we go. And again, want to encourage you, if you're finding this helpful, if you're finding it good, please, please, please let me know, not only in the comments, but the different media and streams that we're using to come before you. Just however you wish to contact me and let me know, hey, I enjoy it. It's been great. I applied this factor that you mentioned and it helped. So just want to encourage any of you, all of you, whoever has the heart, the time, and the opportunity, please give me a comment. Let me know how it's been effective to you, before you, within you, and the impact that it's having. All right. With that being said, Again, thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to being able to address some new issues here in 2 weeks' time. So just want to encourage everybody, keep building. Don't let anyone determine what your limit is, because just let them know I'm going places and I've got things to do. So life is full, and I'm full of life. And I have a lot of living to do. All righty. Well, we'll see you here in 2 weeks, 2 o'clock. Looking forward to it. So you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time. All right.